For a third day today, the jurors in the sentencing retrial of Jodi Arias are deliberating on whether she should get the death penalty for killing her former boyfriend, Travis Alexander. Jean Casares has been following the retrial. She's been kind enough to joining us this morning from New York. You know, Jean, good morning. I'm wondering what likely is weighing the most on their minds from last week's closing arguments. What do you think?
Well, they're looking at all the evidence. You know, both sides during the closing arguments said, look at the evidence, study the evidence, because there's all these journal entries that Jodi Arias wrote. There are the crime scene photos that are so brutal. It shows such a brutal killing. There are the audio tapes of phone conversations that she and Travis had. But so they're obviously looking, and they asked for a list of all the evidence on Thursday, it was. But they're also realizing that they are the ones that decide whether she lives or dies. This is not a recommendation in Arizona. This is what they say goes. And so that's got to be mounting on their mind. But I want to tell you, Robin, 2 years ago, in 2013, it was the third day, which is today, that they came out saying we cannot reach a decision.
Oh, that's fascinating.
We are stuck. And it's not the third full day of deliberations because it was only half day on Wednesday, but it was this day 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
That something happened.
So if they can't, under Arizona law, if the prosecutors cannot get a death sentence 2 times, they have a chance. After that, it goes to the judge, but then it's not for life or death.
Correct. It's life. And then you're right. There can't be a third death penalty phase. But the judge then decides whether it's life day for day with no chance of getting out or release after 25 years. So if it does go to the judge, that's going to be another big issue there. And she can sentence either immediately after the jury determines life, or they cannot be unanimous on death, or there can be a sentencing hearing farther on down the line.
You know, I wonder, how do you think this court proceeding this time has differed from the first trial in terms of, you know, Jodi Arias' behavior?
Well, you know, she testified for more than 2 weeks back in 2013. She did testify in secret for a few days, and then it was all stopped. There was never cross-examination. We don't know what that testimony was like because you couldn't sit in the courtroom. It was secret, and then an appellate court said you can't have secret testimony. So you didn't have the influence of Jodi Arias. I don't think she connected or disconnected with the jury as she did the first time. Remember, she didn't allocute, meaning beg for forgiveness and talk to the jury about what good she could do if she lived. She chose not to do that. So that was a big difference from the first trial.
All right. Jean Casares, thank you so much.
Thanks,
as we
Robin.
watch those deliberations, or wait.